Good morning. Today is October 4th, 2024. My name is Terry Morgan, and we're here to do two things. One, I'm here to offer some updates on work that I've been doing, not teaching online. And we're going to practice a little bit of Qigong. I'm going to call it Qigong preparation. And the goal for this practice is to be quiet. I've talked about that before. I'm going to talk about it again. And we're going to work on that. My current activities have been focused on something that is available on the channel, The Ambassador. Fun, family friendly martial arts adventure in space. That first episode is available now. The second episode will be available on Sunday. Yeah, excuse me, second part two of the first episode. I'm sorry, second episode. We haven't even started recording yet. That is something that I'm looking at doing. I'm working on the scripts, looking at what the schedules could be. I'm really actively looking at it, and I am also looking at how to create the dynamics. And it's because there's a lot of different moving parts. How to create that dynamic so that we can become self sustaining. Right now, I'm sustaining the effort, and it's it took a lot. I could use a few more hands, and um, I, some additional um, some additional ideas because there are a few things that I know I could do better, but I'm not entirely sure how to go about making that happen. Couple things I already know. Not a big, yeah, I've been working at practicing and improving my practice for too many years to not know how to look at something and develop a sense of how it can be improved. So we started with audio that was a little bit choppy and too spread out. I learned how to address that. I learned about sound effects. I learned, oh, so many things about sound engineering and sound design. I did reasonably well. I could do better. There are other people who could do better than me. There are lots of people who could do way better than me. Welcome. Come on down. The same for the actors. Everyone that worked with the production was professional and gave an excellent performance. I'm extremely pleased with the work that everyone did. I could use a few more voices. There's a lot of characters in show. So that is what I'm working on. It is most definitely martial arts. In the very first episode that's released, there's a scene where the ambassador and her new chief of staff have to fight their way out of a situation. But it's traditional martial arts. It's not the wham bam sock'em rock'em. It's oh, you wanted to do this? Okay, we're done. Yeah, that's you didn't want to do this, did you? You really sure you want to do this? No, I'm pretty sure you don't, but if you do, well, let me help you. That idea that the characters, and this is about martial arts, right? That the characters are experts in the martial arts. They don't want to fight. They don't. They would prefer not to. But if that requirement presents itself, if the only way for me to get out of this situation is to fight and to defeat my opponent. I want to be effective in doing that. We're not playing. I'll go to class and play with my Kung Fu brothers and sisters, but that would not be playing. That would be, we're done. That's it. We're done. And that was you on the ground right there. That idea is part of the story, that the characters don't want to fight. It's traditional martial arts. They're highly trained. They don't want to have to use it. They'd rather not. But if they do, well, it's just done. All right, so that philosophy is part of the story throughout. That there are certain things that we would do, that we should do, that we shouldn't do as part of who we are in our training. So in modern day, we don't normally need a bodyguard or an escort. There are times when you might. And you don't want that person to be one who's prone to fighting. You don't. You really don't. You don't. You want that person to be capable, but you want that person to be able to disperse without having to do something that is just uncomfortable for everybody. Right? That, hey, would you like an autograph? Here's an autograph. Here's a ticket for the next show. I hope you can make it. Bye. See ya. Bye. Right? That, finding a way, that idea is pervasive in the stories. That the characters have that sense of honor and earned respect that comes with their level of skill and their level of, in the story, development in the ancient arts. As I transition this class into what we're practicing today, this idea of not wanting to fight, of looking for some other way, is part of my own training. It's part of what I learned from my teacher, Liu Zhang, in China. It's part of what I learned from my teacher, Huang Weilun, when I studied with him here in the U.S. It's part of what came through in the way that all of the teachers that I learned from and that I still have a great deal of respect for carried themselves. It wasn't as a bully, it wasn't as it was, hey, hi, how you doing? Everything good? Anything I can do to help? That humble approach with all of the training and study and practice and all of the workmanship that's been developed, to still have that sense of being humble, not thinking that I'm the most wonderful thing in the world, I'm the most wonderful person on the planet. And that goes with the characters in the story, and it goes for me personally, right? So I kind of know where I am in that continuum of beginner and advanced. I really kind of know where I am. I'm over here. I do know that. And I know that because I've paid attention to all of the details and tried to pay attention to all of the teachings. I listened. And I learned to listen to myself, which is the lesson for today. Right? As we practice, as we're doing whatever it is we're doing, right? So I'm talking, we're talking, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, right? Mentally, I'm thinking, hey, what's going on? How are you? Oh, that's a nice dress, or that's a nice shirt. Oh, really? Got new shoes? Hey, nice haircut. Right? Those kinds of things occur to us naturally. It's part of that interaction. We become accustomed to the sounds around us. I live in a reasonably quiet area. There's not too much going on, particularly not at this time of the morning. So that's part of why I'm here at this time of the morning, because there's not a lot of extra noise outside. That is something that I pay attention to. As I'm paying attention to what's in my environment, what's around me, there is also the need for me to quiet my own mind so that whatever is around me is out there and not in here. And that sense of internal and external is part of what we do want to pay attention to in all of our practice. One of the problems that folks run into when they go from a noisy environment or an environment where there are regular noises, a large urban area where traffic noise quiets down about 10, 11 o'clock at night and then starts to pick back up about 5 o'clock in the morning. Residential area where there is night noise. There's traffic at night that wouldn't happen during the day. Yeah, I've been in one of those. Didn't sleep well. All right, there are different things that happen in our environment. So when you change that environment, now quiet. Everything should be quiet. Quiet. I didn't stop. I just didn't move. That sense of quiet. All right. While I was doing that, I'm going to guess that at a certain point, probably at the point that I smiled, you were looking at what is she going to say anything? What's next? Why is she talking? Right? Why? Why is it necessary for me to keep talking? Well, it's expected, right? I'm on video and it's in class and I should say something. It's true. I should. That disruption by my just stopping and being quiet. I didn't do anything. The video didn't stop. I just stopped. I stopped. Being able to do that, just there it is, empty. Breathe and breathe in and breathe out. Nothing matters. Nothing's important. Nothing you have to do right now. Just breathe. Quiet. Breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out. Sink the breath to the lower dantian. Breathe in. Expand. Breathe out. Contract. Pull up the back. Sink down the front. Breathe in. Pull up the back. And breathe out. Sink through the front. Return to the lower dantian. That simple. It doesn't take any particular effort. It does take some effort. I take that back. It takes letting go. It takes not having expectations. I don't expect to do anything. I expect to stand here. I'm not going to do anything. Okay, that's it. The sense of internal quiet that you need to be able to create in order to do this one simple thing. It sounds really simple. It's like there's a lot of things that sound really simple. They're not. To be able to do this one simple thing, the mind has to be open and quiet so that there's not, what am I going to do next? There's not, what am I going to say? How am I going to say this? What am I going to do? How am I going to move? What's the next thing? What am I got on my list? What am I going to cover this morning? Right? I can't think about that if I'm going to be quiet. Nope. Can't think about that. I can't. Well, over here this and over here that, and this movement here and that movement there. If my body is going to be quiet, that connection between the mind, let me do the shopping list, let me do the checklist, let me think about this, I'm going to think about that. Generally verbal thought, not not the kind of thought that we get in imagery and movement. This is different brain, right? Left side, right side. As we're thinking about these things, language based, we use our mind in a particular way. It's not quiet. It's not. There's methods to record this, there's methods to determine what kind of brain waves you have. You can connect up to an electroencephalograph and you can read it. We want that quiet alpha where we are present. We're not, okay, no, right? You're not just zoned out. You're not absent from where you are. You're not absent from the environment, but internally, that noise is gone, and there's no imperative to do anything except breathe. We have to do that. You have to breathe. Relax. Breathe. Pull up the back. Down the front. Expand the lower dantian. Breathe in. Pull up the back. Sink down the front, pull into the lower Tantian. Relax. Pull up and in. Breathe. Be quiet. Don't move. Just stand there. Breathe. That quiet. I'm present. I know everything that's going on around me. I'm not disconnected. I'm not in some uh, disconnected is the best word that I got for that right now. I'm not disconnected from what's in my environment. I wasn't disconnected from the fact that I'm on camera, not at all. That sense, but I was also working very carefully to be quiet. What do I need to do to stand here? Which muscles have to work? Which muscles can relax? What do I need to do for my body placement so that I can use as little effort as possible? What do I need to do in order to stay relaxed so that I don't start moving? I don't start fidgeting, right? I just in standing here. I'm telling you, you stand here for 30 seconds. I'm not going to do it right now, but we will do that, and we have done this. I've done this in the past. Stand here for 30 seconds, and I will guarantee you that unless you have practiced this, after the first 15 seconds, you're going to want to move something. Some part of your body is going to want to move. It may be your knee, it may be your toes, it could be your head, it could be your shoulder, it could be your hands, it could be any part, some part of your body will want to move. And the effort that you make to stop it interrupts your practice. What do? Don't try and stop it, allow it to be quiet. Right? That part of your body wants to move, it's making noise. Shh. Let it go. Release that tension, release that energy, that's kinetic energy that's built up in your muscles. Release that energy, allow it to flow through, but don't move. That development is part of traditional standing practice. Stand here for 15 minutes. Yeah, you're not going to do it, are you? You're not. I know this. I know this. It's hard. It really is. It's hard to do. And in our normal lives, we don't have the sense that my standing here for 15 minutes is going to help me with anything. If your practice is a 3-hour session, and at the beginning, one of the things that you do to prepare for practice is to stand quietly for 15 minutes. It doesn't seem quite so much. We hardly ever do that anymore. Okay? It's not, It's for me, it's been quite a few years since I've thought about doing a 3 hour practice. I kind of thought about it a week or so ago, but it was in passing. It wasn't it wasn't real. I might get back to a 2 hour thing. I might. I might. Well, I'll think about it. The effort to do that is substantial. It's different than 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It takes focus, it takes concentration, and it takes the ability to decide that this is what I'm going to do during this time, and to be able to do it without distractions, and where there are distractions, to be able to come back and continue with that practice. It's a significant effort. It is. 30 minutes is good. It gets quite a few things accomplished and allows for that. Yeah, but I need to go do, right? I got this other thing. I've got to go do this other thing over here. It allows for that. An hour is better as we do pay attention to what we're doing in practice. This sense of quiet. As I start out, as Wudang Tai Chi, as I start here, that sense of quiet has to be present. If it's not, my movements won't appear quiet at all. We have two of these movements in Wudang Qigong. Palm supporting heaven, sink, pull up, press up, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull in and sink. Yin yang yang yi. Ah. Here. Right here. Push. We have this in Wudang Qigong as well. There are several segments that are similar, not exactly identical. All of the foundation, whether it's for Bagua, whether it's for Wudang Qigong, whether it's for Tai Chi, whether it's sword, all of the foundation depends on being quiet. Being able to move and stop, right? Just stop, go. That sense of quiet. Xingyi. Stop, go, go. Right? That ability to move depends on being quiet. In the Tao Te Ching, there's the idea that the shape of a bowl gives form to what's in it. The usefulness of the bowl depends on the part that's not there, right? That movement, the bowl, the quiet, the part that's not there, that combination works together to allow us to move more quickly than we might otherwise, and to develop a level of connection between what we want to do and what we are doing. So I want to do the opening movement for Bagua. I want to do the first segment, first crosshand segment from Wudang Tai. I want to do dragon step. That sense of this is what I've studied, this is what I've practiced, this is what I want to do, and then being able to decide this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it, here it is. That connection depends on being quiet, being centered, being fully connected and relaxed, fully aware of what the movement requires. So I picked my favorite sides to do these movements. I think about dragon step on the left side. I'd think about that. I'd think about I'm going to do dragon step on the left side. I didn't think about dragon step. I just had to think about left side. That extra, right? I think about it for a minute. I did. My reaction is I'm going to do this on the right side. I'm capable on the left. Knowing that depends on my being quiet. I can't know that. I can't observe that. If I've got a bunch of noise going on in my head, what am I going to do next? How am I going to do this? What am I going to do that? I can't. Oh, wait. When I think about this, right? Being conscious of that lets me know that, well, I probably need to practice a little bit more on the left side, don't I? They should be more or less equal. Never going to be, but more or less. We always favor one side or another for different movements. I might favor a particular movement on the left side. I might favor a particular movement on the right side, but that's a natural thing. Everybody does that. Being aware of that is something that you have to listen for, right? Oh, I like this side better. Oh, no, I like this side better. Understanding what you're doing, understanding the movement, understanding the dynamic behind the movement, understanding all of the things that go with being able to do the movement. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes perseverance. It takes repetition. And then we get to the point where we need to be quiet. We just need to be quiet again. and return to where we were at the beginning of our training so that as we continue to develop, we make sure that we bring along all of the things that we've learned, all of the value that we have created as we've practiced, so that as we go forward, now I can do more. That ongoing development depends on, being quiet. Listen. Be focused on your inner breath. Focus on your breathing. So the inner breath, the chi, focus on the chi. Focus on the inner breath. Focus on the breathing so that your lungs and your diaphragm, your upper body, all of your breathing apparatus is well placed and well centered. Pull up through the back. Open the chest. Don't stick it out, but open it. Okay, so it's more open to both sides than it is open to the front. Allow your whole body to breathe. Don't just focus on, now I got to breathe through my nose, I got to breathe out through. No. Whole body breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out. Big sigh. Right? Just woke up. Okay, yeah, all right. Stretch and relax. Again, stay there. Relax. Just breathe. Nothing else matters. Be still. Be quiet. Breathe. This quieting also lets us center ourselves so that as I'm breathing, that sense of being quiet, of being well placed, of being centered, carries through my whole body, and it carries through my mind, so mind and body, right? So that it's a yeet, so that when I'm finished, stop practice, I feel refreshed, I feel calmer, and just you should, and you should also feel a sense of being mildly energized. And we didn't do a heavy practice this morning, so nicely energized would come from a different type of practice. This is mildly energized to the where it's just that nice, easy, all right, let's go meet the day. That feeling is what, especially morning practice, should allow you to take away. That sense of being centered, being quiet, being aware and ready to go do whatever it is you're going to go do next. I'm going to stop with that for today. Thank you for being here. I will be getting back to a more regular class schedule and look for part 2 of episode 1, The Ambassador, on Sunday. Thank you.